Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Q&A podcast on Inside the Birds platform YouTube channel. I am one of your hosts, Jason Avant. I'm here with my main man, Quintin Mikell. Say what's up to the people.
What's going on, everybody? Glad to be back. I'm a little raspy right now, so bear with me. It's a little cold out here, so
Man, we all good. We're all good. The Birds kick butt in the Meadowlands, the new Meadowlands Stadium up there, MetLife. This was the best performance maybe of the year, one of them. So I'm happy about that. 48-22, the Eagles handled business, and they handled it in a variety of ways. They ran it when they wanted it to. When they wanted to, they passed it when they wanted to pass it. Before we get into all that, let's do a little house cleaning. I am Jason Avant. Again, make sure that you are emailing your questions to insidethebirds@gmail.com. Insidethebirds@gmail.com. We always leave a portion at the end of our show to answer your questions. So email your questions to insidethebirds@gmail.com. Thank you to Jeff and to Adam and Josh and everyone that's responsible at Inside the Birds for making this possible, and all the fans that are tuning into us each and every week. Thank you guys a million. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also, Apple and Amazon holds our podcast as well. Q, let's get right into the big picture. What's your big picture thoughts? Like, is this the most dominant performance? Can we go up in a level of dominance? What are your thoughts about us slacking the Giants in their house?
man, that was absolutely beautiful. I've never seen a complete dominant performance like that in all three phases. You know, it was just it got to the point, and it got to the point where I almost felt bad for the Giants and their fans. Not really, because I hate the Giants, and it was just a beautiful thing. But it got so bad where I was like, man, it's like playing against some little kids out there, man. It was unreal. So big picture, I was just really proud of the way the team came out and executed against a team that I thought was going to have way more fight, a team that I thought was going to come out, pulling out all the stops, and at every turn, this team, all three phases, like I said again, just dominant performance.
Yeah, very dominant performance. We've seen the Cowboys have a dominant performance versus the Vikings, and we were waiting for the Eagles' dominant performance. They had one last week versus the Titans, and then they backed it up and raised it a level against the Giants. Now, the Giants are depleted in a lot of different areas, and the Eagles definitely exposed a lot of things. The Giants have to go back to the drawing board and think about personnel, think about a bunch of things, because as it stands, our personnel is so much better, and we're playing at such a higher level than the Giants. And I don't know that I've seen a Eagles Giants game that dominant, right? Not without not even with, like, there's been Eagles Giants games where one team was out of the playoff picture and the other one didn't really care, right? Where it didn't mean nothing. But like first meeting of the year, there's still a lot on the line. I've never seen the Eagles Giants game in my time that
Lopsided.
lopsided. Yeah, it just wasn't competitive at all. So do I think the Eagles have another place to go? Can they go up from here? Ooh. I definitely think the Eagles can go up from here. The reason I say that is there was multiple third down conversions that were right there that we didn't convert on. And if we want to be the team that's going to be able to hang in there in a Super Bowl with the Chiefs, the Bengals, the Bills, one of those teams that are not going to beat themselves pretty much, we got to be able to sustain drives, pretty much 90% of the time. So, and I think that we did, that game, but there were times where we were off the field when they didn't do anything to stop us. It was stuff that we did.
Right. Absolutely.
So do I think there's another level? There has to be. Dallas Goedert gets implemented back into the offense pretty soon. We still got guys out. We lost guys that game. So there is definitely another level that we can go up. And that's the dangerous part about the Eagles, is that this team is the most dominant consistently throughout the season, and we still have other areas. Like, we can get better in the kicking game. Like,
Yeah.
we've had 2 good showings where we got yards and we had solid coverage. We still gave up basically a block kick, right? There's still more things to get done, right? So
Yeah.
the Eagles can be a much better team, and that's scary.
That's real scary.
Yeah. Have they solidified their spots to you as the Super Bowl favorite?
I mean, after that performance, they're pretty close. And we're looking okay. I mean, teams we're talking about Super Bowl level. We're talking the Bills, Chiefs, maybe the Bengals. You know,
No, you got to put the Bengals in there.
I'm just giving them a little, So we're talking okay.
Because
The
the
Bills and the
Bengals,
Chiefs,
the
right?
Bengals, Chiefs, and Bills. Bills, Bengals,
Those.
and Chiefs.
I think that this team is at the
And
level,
maybe the Cowboys.
maybe the Cowboys,
Yeah.
but I don't know what their deal is. But out of those 3 teams, and we're talking about, let's talk about like playoff and championship NFL level teams. I think this Eagles team is at the top of those 3. Now we're talking Bills and Chiefs. I put those 2 at the same level with the Eagles, and I think they're definitely at that top tier. I mean, I think that if they play like they did this last Sunday, they can beat any of these teams. Any of the top teams in the league, they can beat any of them. If they play the way they did last Sunday.
So my top teams go like this. All right. And I'm pretty sure that everybody's top teams, and they've pretty much been my top teams the entire year. And if I will put them in order as of today, I'm going to put them in order for y'all, Q.
Let's do it.
All right. Number 1, Eagles.
Okay.
Most complete team.
Yep.
The team that gives me the most pause, the Bengals, because the Bengals play a similar style as we can. They can run the football at a very good rate, and they have uncoverable pass targets. You cannot cover Jamar Chase. You can't. You can't cover him. And T. Higgins jump balls and stuff like that, it's hard to cover him. And then they have a tactical machine in Tyler Boyd in the slot. Right. So that right there, along with P. Ryan and Mixon and that whole deal is, well, Mixon's out, but that's tough. Then you got the Chiefs, and you see what Patrick Mahomes does every week. And so he's gonna keep them there just with offense.
Okay.
Their defense is not as good as the others, but they're improving. They're improved, much improved from last year. The Bills.
Okay.
I think people have caught up to the Bills a bit, and starting to figure them out. But the Bills, the Niners, and then the Cowboys. The Niners is still flabbergasting to me because they're losing people left and right, but some kind of way they're playing better. And I think their defense is just that good.
Yeah. That's
Niners
fair.
Their defense is the real deal. And the Eagles are going to have to run the ball against the Niners. You can't sit back and do what we're doing and just think you're going to throw the ball against the Niners, because the pass rush get there too. Like if they're in passing situations, that they are just as dangerous as we are rushing with Bosa. Not Joey Bosa, but Nick Bosa. And then the Cowboys. The question I have for you, next question I have for you. 2017 Eagles, Super Bowl champion Eagles. Is this team, this roster, better than that roster?
Yes.
Oh, that was quick.
Hold on.
That was quick.
Let me pull up the Eagles roster.
You got Darren Sproles, you got Jason Peters. They didn't play. You have Alshon Jeffrey. You got Nelson Aguilar. You got Torrey Smith, Brent Selleck, Zach Ertz.
Okay.
Jason Kelsey, Brandon Brooks.
Okay.
Lane Johnson.
All right.
Vaitai.
Okay. So now, very, very similar roster. I'm gonna tell you the one thing and I know you probably know where I'm going with this. The one thing that is different is the quarterback position, right? And Carson had a great year that year. I think the difference, Carson's been beaten up on a lot. I think the big difference between those two teams is Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback on and off the field, a better leader, willing to run when he has to, willing to do whatever he has to do. We'll spread the ball around. We'll hold himself accountable. We'll hold everyone else accountable. We'll take tough coaching. We'll work his butt off. That's the difference for me. That's why I think this roster is better. That's it.
I agree with you. I agree with you that Jalen Hurts is a better player, a better teammate, a better leader. I agree with that. But let me tell you why, in pretty much every area, and including the line, pretty much every facet. Goddard, even though Ertz's numbers are higher as far as catches, Goddard can affect the game better. Higher yards per catch, better playmaking ability, less effort to get him the ball. You can give him a screen and he still can go. So our tight end is a more complete tight end when you consider blocking and you consider everything. So our tight end is better. And we're talking about a person that made the Pro Bowl multiple times, Zach Ertz. Our receivers are better, right? This is going to be the first year, I pray, that we have 2,000-yard receivers in Eagles history.
That's crazy.
So they're going to go down as the best receiving core in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles, and rightfully so. Right? Yeah. So the line is better because you got Dickerson is better than Vaitai. Jason Peters didn't play, so Mailata in that run, you know, and then you pretty much got everybody else. The only person that you're going to be able to say that was better in that line was Brandon Brooks, which was a beast. You can't.
Yeah, he was a monster.
You can't change that. But overall, I think the line is better. Now, when you consider the cornerbacks, that's not even. We was out there playing with Jalen Mills, and we were playing with
Darby,
and Darby. Right? We had all type of people in there, and you know, like nah. So yeah. Our linebackers and that side of the ball just wasn't like that. So
Najee good,
no. So our defense is much improved.
Yes,
right. So every area pretty much is better except for special teams.
Yeah, that's true.
Every area is better probably than special teams because we had Dave Phipp as the special teams coordinator, and we also had Sproles for a particular time. You had Aguilar at a particular time. You had people that can that could generate a little bit of return.
Yeah, I like
so
that, man.
Every area, pretty much.
Yeah.
So and that was a Super Bowl team, and this team is more talented. And the Eagles are definitely the favorite to win a Super Bowl because there's not many people that can. Like I said, the only teams. The Chiefs are scary just because they can score so much offense. But the team that'll give you the team that worries me the most out of any of these teams is the Bengals. Probably the Bengals and the Niners, just because the way they play football.
Yeah. I guess with those teams, I guess it ain't even going to be really a matter because Eagles going to get home field throughout the playoffs if they keep winning. So
if they keep winning, they would get home. They would get home field off. And I'm not trying to shortchange the Bills at all, but the Bills lack a running game at certain times, and so I'm not trying to shortchange them. And all the time they can't. They're not playing the same level of defense. They lost Von Miller for the year. They're just getting their linebacker back. You know they hadn't had Tre'Davious White. Like they still losing Micah Hyde. They've lost a lot of people. So I'm not trying to disrespect the Bills. They just don't have a large portion of the core team that they had last year.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right, I can rock with that. So I have the same top 5 or 6. I just have the Chiefs flipped with the Bengals.
With the Bengals,
yeah. I understand your points about the about the Bengals, so I'll look at that a little bit more.
They play good they play solid defense too. The Bengals play solid defense, and they don't give up easy stuff. Von Bell and Jesse,
Bates.
yeah, good safety combination, good like okay corners, like they're straight, and their pass rush is okay. Hubbard and fellas.
All right.
All right. Jalen Hurts, is he the front runner for MVP? Let's talk about this, and you got to tell me why, if he is or if he isn't. Is he Mahomes? Because the consensus is Mahomes or Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
As of week 14 in the NFL can be completed.
That's such a tough one. I mean, because Mahomes has done it for so long, it's hard not to go with him. But if you look at it strictly from what each quarterback means to their team and how the complete offense goes through them, and we're talking about the quarterback position. Obviously, they touch the ball every play. The ball has to go through them. But if you're looking at it strictly from what a certain player means to that team, I think Jalen Hurts at this team at 11-1 right now is the clear-cut MVP. Strictly off of what he means to this team, to this offense, the intangibles that we talk about all the time. But like his level, his accuracy on the intermediate throws, the deep ball throws, his intelligence in the pocket, like he can run. I think me personally, and I know I'm biased, but me personally, I think that Jalen Hurts is the MVP solely on what he means to this team and the fact that this team is 11-1 right now. And they're coming off a stretch of just complete dominance over the last 3 games.
Yeah.
So that's just
I don't disagree with you. Like I don't.
I'm sorry, 12-1. I said 11-1.
12. I think Jalen Hurts. Whenever you hear on radio stations and or television, they just dismiss. Some people just dismiss Jalen Hurts when they start talking about Patrick Mahomes. It's like, I'll just give Patrick Mahomes the MVP. He deserves it. You guys are making it because he's so great. He's being penalized. Mahomes has a great case. I can't deny that. The man has 33 touchdowns right now. He already has over 4,000, right? In comparison to Jalen Hurts is 3,000. He has 1,000 more passing yards than Jalen Hurts. And he has 11 more touchdowns passing than Jalen Hurts. Now, he only has, I believe, 2 rushing touchdowns. Jalen Hurts has 10. All right. So now that number has basically just gotten even.
Yeah.
Because
good point.
Because of the rushing touchdown. So he has 22 passing, and then you add another 10 on, that's 32. Patrick Mahomes has 35 now. So you got 32 and 35 total touchdowns between the two of them. Right? That's 3 more touchdowns. Now, Jalen Hurts has over like 150 less pass attempts than Patrick Mahomes. Because he's allowed to air the ball out. Patrick Mahomes is more. Jalen Hurts' completion percentage is higher than Patrick Mahomes. And his average per play is higher than Patrick Mahomes. Meaning that if you would level it out and give them the same amount of opportunities, the number of stats would be similar.
There it is.
You get what I mean? So now that doesn't take away that Patrick Mahomes has lost Tyreek Hill. And Tyreek Hill literally, to me, should be in the top 3 for MVP.
Really?
That's my sense. What other receiver goes from the Chiefs, where he's leading the league almost in receiving yards with another dude on his team named Travis Kelce, goes over to the Miami Dolphins and leading the league in receiving yards again with a quarterback that everyone said couldn't do it.
That's good.
And was in the doghouse for the last 2 years, but he comes around and now the Dolphins are a playoff team for most of the year, and was until these last few weeks was almost leaders in the AFC. So yeah, I think that Tyreek Hill definitely should get a case for MVP, and I think it should be a serious look at it because not many people have that ability to change the game. I saw an interview the other day with Shannon Sharp and Tyreek and Steve Smith, and Steve Smith said that Tyreek's hands he doesn't have pure hands, and then there was a follow up of Tyreek's being saying that he didn't like that. Steve Smith is not wrong because Tyreek doesn't have natural hands as in compared to Larry Fitzgerald and Chris Carter and D Hop and Tim Brown and Steve Smith, like that plucked the ball out of their hair, made contested catches all the time.
Yeah.
That he does have that speed, that quickness, that ability to get open. He can make contested catches. It's at the level of that guy. But the way he affects the game, I don't know, besides Randy Moss and Jerry Rice, who affects the game from receiver at this level of any receiver in history. In the history of the NFL, there isn't a receiver that affects the game more. Now, you may say Jerry Rice, you may say Randy Moss, and I won't say anything to you. But that neither one of them affects the game more than Tyreek Hill. Like, it from a defensive back standpoint.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
He's a pain in the ass for a defensive coordinator. It's like, all right, what am I going to do with this? I got to think about this anytime he's one-on-one.
You can't have him one-on-one.
Yeah.
You got to double him every play.
Yeah. If you don't, he's going to score a 70-yard touchdown.
Did you see him pick up that fumble last night?
Yeah, I'll holler at y'all later. It wasn't anybody in the picture from when he picked the ball up until he scored. That's hard to do in the NFL.
Yeah.
To find a camera angle where there's somebody in the picture.
Excuse me. Oh my God. And then waving at him as he's jogging down the last 10, 20 yards.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, So I said all of that is that's a great case.
Yeah.
That Tyreek Hill portion for Mahomes is a great case for what Mahomes is doing without Tyreek Hill. It's a great case because this dude that you let go is in the MVP conversation, basically. If you break it down.
Yeah. I'm sold, man.
So
when you first said that, I was like, I'm with you now.
Yeah. So it's an interesting race. I think this one should go down to week 16.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it.
It's gonna be nice.
All right, we got a lot of time on that right there.
Yeah,
all right, Eagles scored 128 points in the last 3 games. 40 points, 35, 48, averaged more than 40 points a game with them missing Dallas Goedert. That's very impressive. Is there any other team that appears to have a difficult matchup versus the Eagles? Like, it is a comparable matchup. Like, can the Cowboys hang with this pace?
I don't think that. So to me, I think the teams that
they just picked up T.Y. Hilton too.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah. I think the teams that can give this Eagles team trouble are the teams that can score fast, but can also run the ball, and teams that are aggressive on defense. I think you have to attack on all three, in all 3 phases of the game. You have to attack on the offense and be able to, take some shots down the field and be successful. You have to be able to run the ball well and run from multiple angles against a stout front. And you have to be able to play. I don't think you have to play shutdown defense, but you have to be able to limit the big plays. You have to be able to get off the field on 3rd down. If a team can do that, I would say defensively wise, if a team can do that 50% of the time, if they can maybe get a turnover here and there, I think that there's teams that can beat them. So for me, the only teams that I see right now that could have a shot In the NFC, the Niners, as we talked about, the Cowboys if they're having a good day, the Vikings if they don't sit in their cover two and play off the entire game and soft. And then if you're looking, I think another team that's dangerous is the Lions. I call me crazy. This team, they just keep finding ways to win. They're getting healthy. They can run the ball. They can throw the ball. They're playing aggressive defense. I think that team is going to be very, very dangerous down the stretch.
I think they've won like 5 of the last 6, if I remember. It could be 6 out of the last 7, but it's like 5 of the last 6, I believe.
Yeah.
They're on a nice little win streak. It may be 6. It may be 6 straight wins. But yeah, it's been or something like that.
Yeah.
5 or 6 they rattle off.
And they've been in tight games. They've been in games. And I think it's important too. I think it's an underrated part of the game is when you're in tight games, whether you win or lose. I think there's always a way to learn things. And so, when you get down to down to the end of the season and you're trying to get into the playoffs or you're in the playoffs, those tight games that you've had earlier in the season, they're going to come back and you figured out a way to win. So I think that's crucial for that Lions team. And
and they're scoring points at a high level, and they're like one of the teams that's leading the league in big plays right now. And they just got Jameson Williams healthy, which is a legit, low 4.3, a legit one. So when you start hearing stories that Jameson Williams is just as fast as Waddle, and from coaches and stuff like that, just as fast as those guys, like that's some serious speed. And you got Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then you got GJ Chark. You got a good tight end, good running backs, and their defense coordinator is a gambler. So that's always scary. People score points on them, but you never know what happens when a dude is willing to go zero. As much as he would. Anything can happen. That could be a game where you win by a bunch, or it could be a game where they get after you.
Yeah, that's real.
You know what I mean?
And like I said, that's what's crazy about this Giants game is that because I thought that the Giants team, especially the way Wink Martindale is, and I just thought that they would come out and defensively just take some chances.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. We about to get into that. We gotta get into that. Let's get right into topic 2, unless you wanted to answer the what's the locker room?
Huh? We can go to the next segment.
All right, let's go to the next segment. Next segment on you.
All right, so Eagles Giants 44-28. What did you see? What stood out to you the most about Hurts and the Eagles offense? Getting ready for these blitz schemes and stuff. What stood out?
I thought it would be, because when I was looking on film, I saw them bring 6 people a little bit more. What stood out was that the offensive line was definitely prepared for their blitz, and especially running back, right? So, and I thought that the Eagles had a game plan for all of their blitz. They pretty much stoned everyone. Even the one that they sent 6 a few times, and they didn't have they had a free runner to get through, but it took him a little while, the way how good they were blocking, and we were still able to complete the passes, right? So I thought that the offensive line played pretty well. I thought the backs blocked pretty well, and I thought Jalen did a great job of the Patrick Mahomes dying a slow death at quarterback, like giving a little ground and being able to complete the throw, and realizing that you got one-on-one in situations. Like their answer to a lot of this week was out routes, was a corner, was a 5 or 6 yard out, 8 yard out, that type of thing. And he stuck with it. He knew that one extra was coming. He eyed his man down and made throws. We're going to talk about that on some tape that I have kind of later. And yeah, matter of fact, let's look at that. Okay. You mind if I look at that real fast?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's look at it. Let me see if I can share the screen real fast.
And Jay, why are you doing that? I just have to say, man, because I don't think we give Jalen all the praise and he deserves it. Steichen, we give him all the praise. But one guy I think
Mhm.
that doesn't get enough praise in the media is Brian Johnson, the quarterback coach for the Eagles. I mean, he's done a phenomenal job with Jalen, especially this year, and
Mhm.
he's just been phenomenal. I had to say something, man, because he's a tremendous coach. I had to look him up. I didn't realize he was the quarterback at Utah when they were winning all those games back then. So, big up to
Yeah, yeah.
Coach
When
Brian Johnson.
Urban Meyer.
Yeah, yep. Well, I think they beat Alabama, right, in the Sugar Bowl that year, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken. All right.
They killed Alabama. They just didn't beat them. All right. So Q, let's look at this here. Here is a 3rd and 6. This is one of the first 3rd and 6 in the game, right? You can see all these people at the line of scrimmage. And for those that are listening to this, the Eagles have a 3rd down and 6. There's a 2-by-2 formation from the Eagles. Matter of fact, it's an empty formation it's a 2-by-3. It's an empty formation, so they can see the blitz pretty easily. He knows that he has a one-on-one situation, and he knows that he can't pick up all of these men that are blitzing because they're in empty. So what Jalen does is know that he has an out route to Devontae Smith, and he just sticks on to it. And watch this throw. Look at this development, right? He knows he's going to lose to Olarie right here, but look at this right here. This man is not out of his break. He didn't run a great route. This corner is covering Devontae Smith, but his ball placement and he's eyeing the target. This is just great quarterback play. Great
Phenomenal
quarterback
throw.
play. Like,
Phenomenal
that's
throw.
a great throw. You can't cover that. And Jalen Hurts is playing at an extremely high level, in order to make that type of throw and also recognize where he's going to lose the blitz to. All right. So that's one play that I have, and then I can go over a little bit more, right? So let's go down a little bit further. All right. This play here is a 1st down and 10. I'm just going to talk about just the development, how much he has grown from a passing standpoint, right? He's reading this out. You can see most of these guys I covered, there's no clear look for him right now. He really doesn't have anybody open. So he scrambles. Look at this ball placement. Rolling to the right. There's a safety over the top of this. There's a guy underneath. This ball should have been completed, right? Look, and this is an incomplete pass, but that ball placement and that trust in his arm is totally night and day from last year. Totally night and day. I just showed you 2 plays where him understanding the blitz, him making an extremely good throw doing the blitz and ball placement. When his receiver didn't win, he won the route with his ball placement. And then just his ability to get the ball up and down in these situations. Like, I can go on and on and on. Let me go to one more play. I'm gonna give you one more play. One more play. All right. Now, this particular play, for those that are looking there, again, they're in a 2-by-2. The running back is in the backfield. They have an overload blitz that's coming at this time. Jalen Hurts knows that he's going to lose, but he has a few out routes in this situation, right? So what he's going to do is he's going to back up and give himself space in order to complete this pass and not allow the free runner to get to him, because the free runner is coming. The free runner is a little bit late, number 36. Jalen Hurts is backing up like Patrick Mahomes does, delivers a dot to the sideline to Quez Watkins on the 3rd down in order to get there. That's amazing football and understanding where the blitzes is coming from. So now he's beating it with his arm, the blitz. You can only blitz so many times before he can take off and run. So multiple times early in the game, the Giants tried to blitz him. He burned him for either a touchdown or a big 3rd down. So now they're in zone most of the game, and now they're scared of it. And that's what happened. He made them one-dimensional by his mind and him beating the blitz early. That's what happens.
Yeah. And a little context on that. That blitz is I call it a bomber blitz, is where you essentially send you send a safety and a linebacker, or sometimes it's 2 safeties, like right up the gut. And the idea of it is the quarterback's going to take too long and try to sit there a little bit too long, and he'll feel comfortable in the pocket just long enough for the safeties to get there. So essentially, teams will run that against a lot of young quarterbacks or quarterbacks that they don't think can read a defense or isn't quote unquote smart enough to figure it out. And as you saw right there in illustrated, he saw exactly where to go with the ball and put it on the money.
Yeah. Look at the ball placement though. And I because it was taking so long, I got two other plays of like excellent ball placement. The one that was thrown to Devontae Smith in the beginning of the third quarter on the corner route where they ended up kicking a field goal. Devontae Smith got to get both of his feet down, but that's an amazing throw over between the safety and the corner, right on the sideline. That's an amazing throw. You can't get better. That was just, I won't say bad receiver play, but you would expect Devontae Smith as he gets older and matures that's going to be a catch 100% of the time going for it. All he has to do is let both feet die and him fall and hit the ground rather than trying to drag. Yeah.
That's simple.
Man, like playing unbelievable ball. Unbelievable.
Okay, so now that we're on that, let's talk about what happened on that second touchdown. Because me as a DB, I'm like, all right, the 41-yard touchdown. Was it on fourth down? That
was a fourth down.
Right.
That was a fourth down play.
A big box fade, as I like to call it.
Defensive coordinator, the head coach.
Oh, I would have went off.
Well, he did. They both did go off.
Not
talk,
just
talk about it. Talk about it from a safety perspective, right? Talk about that from a safety perspective because they were in man to man. Jalen eyed the inside fade down, so that's the concept where the outside guy has a stop hitch route and or in. I can't remember which one AJ Brown had in that situation, but the inside guy has an inside fade route, and it's usually pretty clear. Their route is divine, pretty clear. And Julian Love did a great job of being in position coming from the middle of the field, right? But so talk about it from that standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a young kid mistake, young player mistake. He had a tremendous break on it. He was right there in position, ready to make a play, and I actually thought it was about to be picked off. Sometimes it depends on what type of it's tough, man. It depends on the type of player you are and knowing yourself. And me as a safety, I know I'm not necessarily a ball hawk. Like I wasn't back there to pick off balls and run them back, right? So my thing is I wanted to at least ensure that I made the tackle. So if I'm coming up, I'm Julian Love, I'm coming up, I'm going to make contact as I'm going up through the receiver to try to get that ball. So, it's a tough thing. And I think it's something he's going to learn. But as a safety, I think he was thinking either it was going to be an overthrow to him or the ball was going to be tipped. And at times, some receivers, they feel that presence of a safety coming and they kind of short arm it a little bit and they get a little tip. So I think he learned a huge lesson right there. The second big lesson is always secure the tackle no matter what. Even if you were going for the interception, make sure your body's in a position to where you can at least secure the tackle if they catch it. So it was a double whammy in terms of, the ball's in the air. He kind of locked in on the ball instead of where the receiver was at and lost contact to the receiver. And then also he didn't secure the tackle. I mean, I was happy as hell for it. It was beautiful, beautiful play. But as a defensive player, as a defensive guy that loves good defensive play, I personally would have went right through Devontae. I wouldn't even take a chance. I'd just pow, especially on fourth down.
No,
I would just blew him up.
Yeah, he would have been out of the game. No, seriously, with a lot of players, he would have been out of the game. Now, chances are that one of those hits would have been the flag. It would have been a touchdown.
What's that?
He probably would have been out of the game.
Yeah.
Because that was a bad ball and that was a hospital ball.
Yes.
That wasn't a highlight for Jalen Hurts at all. That was a thank you, Lord moment.
But so you know what's crazy though?
He had the throw. I thought you should have put it on the rope. Go ahead.
Yes. I think like for me, if that's AJ Brown, I don't think that's as dangerous a throw because he's just so big and powerful and physical type of player.
You know what makes that throw not as dangerous of a throw?
What's that?
these soft ass rules that we got. That's what makes it not a dangerous throw, right?
Thank you.
Because it benefits bad quarterback play in a situation like that. That a guy's afraid that he's going to get a $25,000 fine on Tuesday because he knocked a receiver out of the game because it's the quarterback's fault. The quarterback made a bad not read because it was the right read, wrong trajectory, bad throw in that situation. And he should have been penalized for it. And the penalty would have been Devontae Smith in the freaking hospital or off the game. But we live in a different time now that these guys don't fear those consequences as much anymore. So you go up and you go catch it because the chances that the dude going to hit you is kind of low now. I said this is not the first game I've seen it, and I'm not mad about it. I'm mad that the game has gotten this off because that's not the first time I've seen it. I've seen it multiple times playing football where dudes should have no teeth in their mouth. And they end up catching the ball and they getting up celebrating. I'm like, man,
yeah,
like, come on.
That's
come
like
on,
I think I saw on social media, and I don't want to get off on a
yeah,
tangent,
but yeah.
I saw Garrett Wilson. Did you see the play with Garrett Wilson on the sideline? He caught a pass and he got hit against the Bills, and he was complaining, saying, I don't get no calls, and I'm looking at the play. You gotta look at that play. Everybody that's watching, just try to find that play. It was a textbook shoulder, and I'm like, what are you expecting right there? And that goes to your point. They're not getting hit like that anymore. They're not getting hit like that on the sidelines.
Yeah.
You're in the NFL now. You're supposed to be getting hit like that.
You should be. Like you should be. Like Marcus Epps got a penalty in the red zone, in the end zone on a hit.
Yeah.
He aimed low.
Yeah.
He hit him in the head, but he didn't start in the head. He started low. The guy ducked his head right into him. Like there are certain things that shouldn't be. That dude was afraid of the hit and he ducked his head down.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So says that NFL didn't fine him. We won't know until Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Today Monday.
You'll know you walk into your locker and you got that FedEx package.
That FedEx package. It don't come to Tuesday. You think you're out of it on Monday.
Oh man.
Oh, the one from the Burks hit. Yeah. The one this week on
he didn't get fined for the Burks hit. He didn't get fined for that.
No, he didn't get fined for the Burks hit.
Nice. Maybe there's hope. Maybe there's hope left. But the
penalty, maybe there is a little bit of hope.
Don't even throw the penalty because the penalty is almost as drastic.
Yeah, almost. So, but anyhow, Jalen Hurts has to get that ball up and down a little bit more. I thought it was a terrible play by Julian Love. Yes, you got to go up through the guy. And remember, as a offense or defensive player, when the ball is in the air, the best chance you have is to go meet the ball. It's never to wait on it. If you ever waiting on the ball in this situation, it's not going to work. It's not going to end well in your favor. The only times that I ever really dropped the pass is most of the time is because I was waiting on the football. And usually when you wait on the football, somebody gets a hand in there, something occurs, like you got to go meet the ball. If he would have just went to go meet the ball in the air, he would have made contact with Devontae Smith, but it would have been incidental contact because both of them were fighting for the football. Yeah.
There you go.
That's where I am with that. That was the only out of the entire game. That was the only questionable throw by Jalen Hurts. It was the right read. I don't really care because that was the right read.
Just put it on the rope.
He got to know. He eyed him down the entire time. It was fourth down. He eyed him down. Yeah.
All right. So next one. Let's go. So let's talk about Miles Sanders. He's had a great season. He had 144 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's become a well-rounded running back. What do you make of his season so far, and especially this last game? What do you think?
I had some clips, and I don't want to go, keep going, to the tape for it.
I like the tape.
What's that?
I like the tape.
You want to go? You want to go to it real fast?
Let's go to it real quick, man.
All right, so let's look at Miles Sanders and his development I've always said that Miles Sanders was a bounce guy. He has speed, so he's a little bit eager to show off his speed. This year, he's been running through the tackles. Last year, too, running through the tackles and been finding holes. This game was by far Miles Sanders' best game that I've ever seen him play, because all of these holes he had to find. There was only like 2 or 3 runs where it was just, a hole that was right in front of him. A lot of these holes he had to find, and he was patient enough and looked like Le'Veon Bell until he found the hole and then exploded to it. This is one example. So off tackle run to the right. Up, look at this. Sidestep. Kayvon Thibodeau's right here. Sidestep up. Guys getting killed right in front of me. Lane Johnson, the guy gave it to him a little bit. Oh, let me cut off his butt. Like, that's amazing running by Miles Sanders. Like, just like simply like really, really, really good running by him. Just him picking his spot. You can see it from this angle right here. He's looking backside up. I can't go that way. I can't go that way up. Let me see this cut. That's just amazing football by Miles Sanders. And I didn't see this from him any year besides this year. And I think that he's just going to a different level. And the Eagles are going to be tough, faced with some tough decisions when it comes to, do we let this guy go? Because he's playing at a really, really high level. And a guy understanding the game like this, it's going to take you years for another guy can be able to play this well in the system.
Exactly.
And
then it's, you can say Gainwell's there, but can he carry the load like Miles does? I mean, you got another.
Here's another one. Here's another one, Q. Look, these holes are not easy. Look at all these bodies, this body presence in there, right? He has to slide through this. He has to figure out a way. He has to set up this block in order for, let me do this, right? These are things that Miles, he didn't do much of the previous years, right? So look, patient. Let me get out of here. This is Miles is playing at a really, really good level right now.
That's awesome. It's acceleration.
He's playing at a really good level. And what I liked about most of his runs is that he had to find the hole. It wasn't just right in front of him. Let me just run straight. It's up. Let me sidestep, go over the ladder drills. Like, they're good. That's good stuff. That's good football. He's being a lot more patient at the line of scrimmage and understanding the blocking scheme. A lot more patient. He's comfortable. And just like Jalen Hurts has grown and developed, Miles Sanders has grown and developed. We talk about Jalen because Jalen has the ball in his hands a lot more. And you don't want to take away these young dudes in the primes of their career out of an offense that they're clearly excelling
in.
Yeah.
Let's bring him back. So you saying we got to bring him back?
I'm saying that they got to really consider trying to make something happen for him to come back, because I don't think that what he's doing right now is going to be that easily is going to be done by someone else without a lot of reps.
Gotcha.
I think that he's the perfect back for the system that they're running. And he's picking up blitzes at a high level. He's blocking for Jalen Hurts, leading up in the hole, blocking for him. He's doing a lot. He's playing really, really good football. Miles Sanders could not pick up blitzes when he first got in the NFL, but he's growing.
Yeah. I'm with you. All right. I'm with you. Let's bring him back.
Yeah.
He's earned it.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind him. I know that they have a lot of people to bring back, so I don't know if it's going to happen because people don't value the running back. But what I'm saying is that he's played well enough for us to really consider him coming back. Because you want your guys that you drafted to turn out right.
You know what's crazy too? When we talk about this Eagles organization and how the running back position isn't always valued, but some of the best teams that we've had have always had great running backs. You're talking about Westbrook, Shady. You're talking about now Miles is getting into that level. Deuce.
Yeah.
Even before me, Wilbert, Montgomery. Just they've always had really good running backs, and It's just crazy because this isn't an organization. This isn't a organization that's necessarily known for, um, you know, hanging on to, star running backs.
Running
We've
backs, yeah.
always we've always had them here.
Shoot, LeGarrette Blount and Ajayi was balling.
Yeah, I forgot
You
them
know,
too. Shoot.
they were balling.
So we'll see. Hopefully we'll bring him back, man. I like his game.
Yeah.
And I like his cleats. The cleats he
And
had
you
on the
like his
last game were fire, man.
cleats.
I kept saying, okay, all right. Got some
Yeah,
swag.
let's get right to this Mojo read, Q.
All right, man.
All right, let's get right to this Mojo read. Mojo is building the sports stock market where you can invest in your favorite players. Invest in what you know. Turn your sports knowledge into real money with Mojo, the sports stock market. Real stats, real value. Shares entitle you to a guaranteed payout based on career-ending stats. No off days, no off-season. Share prices rise and fall constantly in real time based on career-long projections. Cash out anytime. Build a portfolio and buy and sell on your terms. Every play, every game, or every season. Mojo is available in New Jersey on iOS. By just downloading the app, you have the chance to win up to $10,000 in free shares of player stock. Click the description for a chance to win up to $10,000 in free shares of player stock. Must be 21 years or older and physically located in New Jersey to trade on Mojo. Have a gambling problem? Help is available at 1-800-GAMBLER. Miles Sanders is up basically 7%. 17 carries, 144 yards, 2 touchdowns. You think, are you buying or you just staying chill on Miles? You think Miles at an all-time high?
No, I think he's got some room to grow. He's still young. We talk about the running back position and the wear and tear, but he's not getting a whole lot of tear. He's not getting worn down. I'm gonna ride that wave, man, because the year he's putting together this year, he's gonna be playing for a while.
I know. Listen. I agree that his year is great, but it's too high to buy. It's too high to buy right now. I ain't buying Miles Sanders right now. It's too high.
There's two different ways to look at it, man. You can look in the stock. You can buy, the Walmarts and the the stuff that's always going to be there. That's going to have your back no matter how much.
You saying Miles is a staple? You saying Miles is Christian? Well,
he ain't no penny stock, man. He's not a penny stock.
He the penny stock. He's in he's in a Walmart class.
Yeah, man. Yeah, this is a Walmart.
He's Google
season.
Oh my God!
I'm talking Walmart right before Black Friday when everybody gonna be in there shopping.
I love me some Miles Sanders, but he ain't freaking Mahomes and Devontae Adams. That's like Walmart, Google. That's like consistent. Those they gonna stay. I ain't saying it yet. He's a riser. He's like for Fiverr or something like that, or something like that. Etsy.
Oh man, Etsy. I don't start talking about Etsy.
All right. Yeah, they killing people. All right. The other people that are on the rise, Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Beat the GOAT and Tom Brady. Man, Tom didn't look good at all, man.
Oof, he looked aged.
He got to go, man.
He
got to go.
It's time.
He got to go. He got to go.
It's time.
When you start losing to Brock Purdy,
Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, it's time for you to go.
It's time.
It's time to go. But let's get Brock. Brock is up 12.24%, 185 yards, 2 touchdowns. 185 yards, 2 touchdowns, 16-21, right? He did really good. Got the ball out of his hand. It was a great game plan by Kyle Shanahan. So I think that he's going to continue to thrive because I think Kyle Shanahan knows that he has limitations and is going to use them to his strength. So even though he's up 12 point whatever percent, I think that there's some still room to go up a little bit higher because 185 yards is not that impressive. And I think that he can get more than that as he continues to learn offense, even though I'm going to stick away from, I'm not buying Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
I that's the type of stuff I stay away from there.
We gotta talk about some of my Boise State brethren here.
All right, go ahead.
Brett Rippon. He's a riser, quarterback for the Denver Broncos. Now he's up 48.78%. So I don't, that's really, really a high jump, but I had to show him some love. He's
Yeah,
getting the
the show
start out
some
there.
love.
Get the start out there in Denver. Russell Wilson, he hasn't been playing good this year. It's been well documented, and he got knocked out of the last game. So looking forward to seeing if he's going to be starting this week. Who do they got this week? The Broncos. Who are they facing?
I don't know who they got. Brett Rippon, huh?
So I know it's a long shot.
48%.
48%, but let's
Okay.
let's see. He's a riser. I had to
I
throw
ain't,
his
I ain't
name out
hating
there.
on you. I ain't hating on you. Got some serious injuries, Q. Some fallers. Debo Samuel
Ooh,
down
that was rough.
15%. That look bad.
Yeah,
It's time to stop running Debo, man.
we've been saying
Debo,
it,
go in
man.
the front office.
I am
Debo,
not a runner.
listen to your boy. Listen to me. Tunnel screens, reverses, jet sweeps, receiver play. Stop letting them run you on, 44s and, right up the middle, and stop doing that. Because them big dudes get a hold to you. They will snap you apart.
Oh,
I
yeah.
got hit by a big dude one time in my career that I told I would never get hit by one again, and I didn't. It happened early. My second year, I didn't get hit by a big dude ever again. So you gotta go make you a business decision with that, my man. But yes, Debo Samuel's down 15% because he's been injured, maybe out for the season, may come back in the playoffs, sprain MCL. Yeah.
He's lucky. That's all it was. It looked bad.
Yeah, he got to turn the whole different way. That's how you know how strong he is. His ligaments is like, I ain't ripping. I ain't tearing apart.
Surprised Elijah Mitchell down 10.32%. Jordan Mason had a strong performance. I like Elijah Mitchell. I think I might buy him because I think he's going to pop back up here. Now,
Yeah.
these other guys, to be honest with you, I don't really know much about these other guys. So
Now
I'm
Valdez Scantley is a guy to keep your eyes on, because at any point, because he's down 7%, he may be a guy that you can, if there's a particular matchup or a game that you like and he's still low, that's one of those guys that you can buy him really low and get up high for that particular game. So you got to watch, because he will have a 100-yard game in the next 5 games, even though he had 1 reception, 20 yards last. So those are our Mojo picks. Q, let's round out the top of this show, man.
All right. Yeah,
All right. So let's just go down to the defense. There was still some criticism for Jonathan Gannon, lack of aggression. I don't know how you still have, I don't like that he isn't super aggressive, but these dudes get home.
Yeah.
So give me your take on this, right? They're still making sacks. They got 7 sacks. BG, 3 sacks in this game.
So
tell me your viewpoint of it, right? Tell me your viewpoint on the Jonathan Gannon, lack of pressure, Quintin Mikell's take.
My take is sometimes we have to, sometimes even myself, I misunderstand being aggressive with blitzing. And just because you're blitzing doesn't necessarily mean you're being aggressive. Sometimes, defensive coordinator might blitz for, a myriad of different reasons. You can be aggressive without blitzing, right? And when we talk about it as former players, we're saying stuff like you can be aggressive by bringing your cornerbacks up and putting them in press, getting their hands on the receivers. That's being aggressive. You can be aggressive defense by having your linebackers playing across the line of scrimmage, playing downhill and getting across the line of scrimmage. You can play aggressive without blitzing by having your D-line stunting, slanting, twist. So you don't necessarily have to blitz to play aggressive. When Gannon falls into that non-aggressive mode, it's when we're seeing the DBs off 6-7 yards, letting guys catch the ball underneath. We see the defensive line just doing straight pass rushing, staying in their lanes, no twist. We see linebackers dropping back, getting into their their drop areas and not really reading routes and getting after it. So that's what I think when we're seeing that, when we as fans and former players get frustrated, it's because it's like, do something, coach, like do something. So that's the difference. Now he still does. Um, I think he should blitz a little bit more. But I think when he needs to blitz more is when this team doesn't have a lead. When this team has a lead, you don't have to blitz because that secondary can cover, and that front 4, 5, they get after it. So that's what this team is built on. That's when this team can be aggressive without taking chances. When they're not in the lead, when things aren't going well, that's when he needs to step his play calling up a little bit and get more aggressive. And that's what
Yeah.
we're seeing. So we haven't seen the last couple of games because we've played with a lead and we played against teams that were forced to throw the ball and then that was able to cut that front 4, that front 5 loose. And then when they're in that mode, when they know you have to pass, they're going to get after it. It's the times when things aren't going great. We're not playing with a lead. We're in a tight game. A team is just running and gashing us. That's when we need him to be more aggressive and come up with different schemes. And that's what I think everyone's talking about. And it wasn't as big a problem in this game, but I think moving forward, we get into that playoff run, we're playing some of these teams we talked about, the Niners, Lions, teams like that will be aggressive, that will take chances. He's going to have to step up to the plate and start getting aggressive too.
Yeah, I think people you need reps at it. You can't just stay in your comfort zone because people figure your comfort zone out.
Yep.
And there's going to be teams that they're not on their second guard, their second tackle. They're playing like the Giants' offensive line is like decimated, right? So our guys take advantage of some guys that have some problems and don't supposed to be starting at this particular time of their career. What happens again, like you said, when we're paying a team that can pick up your front 4 and they can't get home? We've seen that. It's a tough go without being aggressive. And yeah, so I think at some point we're going to need them to be aggressive, but I have to this is where I'm going to reel this in. Make this a Jonathan Gannon's philosophy is to not allow teams to score touchdowns. He doesn't care about running yards. He does not care about passing yards. They're doing a better job in the past because of what we're playing with. His goal is to limit the amount of touchdowns the teams are scoring. So he don't want to sacrifice an extra defender on the back end for a blitz, knowing it's going to expose a play that can give up a touchdown. That goes against his philosophy. And I don't love that, but I have to respect it because this team is still the number one team versus the pass in the National Football League. They're number 1 in sacks now. They're number 1 in turnovers. What else can
Yeah,
I ask them?
it's hard to say something about it.
They're bad on third down.
Yeah.
Our team is not good. Our defense is not good on third down. They've gotten better over these last few games, but they're pretty much most of the season they've been at the bottom of the league on third downs. Most of the season. And there's a few other areas where they're completion, like they're not the greatest at. But passing yards, sacks, and first downs, you're gonna win a lot of football games like that.
Yeah. I mean,
So I
it's just
don't.
hard.
So I can't say. I think that the personnel can overcome his lack of aggressiveness.
True. Now,
Unless we're playing them boys.
yeah. Let me add a little bit more salt on that. All right.
Yeah.
So Reed Blankenship stepped in, did phenomenal. I thought he played really good for a rookie. Kayvon came in, he was okay. I mean, he's still young, but I mean, a rookie came in and was playing well. So there's something to be said there. I heard a rumor, or I saw a rumor on social media.
Anthony Harris.
Anthony Harris is in town. So
Some people are just your boy.
yeah,
That's Jonathan Gannon's boy.
I get it. I listen. I understand it.
You know what I mean? That's some people are just your boy. Like
I just
I
don't.
get it.
I don't want to have us revert back to being like it was. It wasn't perfect this year, but I think I think a big part now. Some of these sacks are just straight up, Sweat coming off the edge, dogging people, but
Beating. They beating people.
beating people. But some of them were legitimate cover sacks,
Yeah.
right? Does that go away now if we have, we don't have CJ back there. We don't have Reed back there, right? Does all that go away? Because we were seeing stuff started getting completed when Reed went down, Blankenship went down, right?
Yeah.
And against a better team, I mean, could that be the Achilles heel of this defense?
Could be,
The
but how
safety
long? How long
position.
are we saying? Because CJ gonna come back. Reed
Week
is
what,
basically,
17?
huh?
Isn't he coming back week 17?
They said they won't put him on. No, they won't put him on IR. So he got to be back within the next 3 weeks. Otherwise,
Okay.
it's not worth it.
Okay.
Right. I think it's a short term. It's the short term problems.
Yeah.
Who can hurt us over these next few weeks but the Cowboys right now?
Yeah, but those are important games. We got all division games left. Besides, we got
The
Dallas.
Saints
We got Dallas. We got
and the Bears. You got the
Giants.
Bears.
The
You got the
Bears
Bears.
this
You got
week.
Dallas, the Saints, and the Giants.
The Giants. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see how it goes.
All right.
All right, let's answer these 3 questions and get out of here. Go Sweat. Is Sweat the best pass rusher?
Yes. He's the best speed rusher. I think BG is the best, like, just bull rusher I've ever seen. But I think Sweat's the best straight pass rush speed rush guy we have. Yes, absolutely.
I think Hassan Reddick is the best rusher. You know why? Because I think he uses his hands better than everybody else. You ever notice when he's rushing, he always swatting people, like always. His hands don't stop moving.
Yeah.
So I think Hassan Reddick is the most technical pass rusher. I think the most talented rusher is Sweat because his ability to get off the ball. His sack was just his speed off the ball. It was overwhelming.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And they had something on it. There was another double over route, like with the Packers scored on with Watson. It was when we showed up. It was another double over route.
Yeah, they were
and
going.
He got in the backfield so fast it was over.
It was over, yeah. All right, let's get these questions. Make sure that you come to Launch Trampoline Park in Deptford, New Jersey. Come check your boy out. Launch Trampoline Park in Deptford, New Jersey. We have everything at Launch Trampoline Park, Deptford, New Jersey. Next birthday party, next corporate event, next anything. Come holler at me with anything trampolines, anything family amusement. Launch Trampoline Park, Deptford, New Jersey. All right. Question from Nelson F. I played high school football. I remember always getting slapped on the helmet. I still see this in the NFL today and wonder why they still do it when they are always talking about safety. So if you just get back from a concussion, why do you still slap people on the helmet? I know it can be habit, but is it safe? I used to tell people to stop slapping me on the helmet. Like, I didn't like to get hit in the helmet, just in general, because the offensive linemen don't know that their hands are like heavy. Those dudes lift 500 and 600 pounds, right? So the last thing I need to be is getting hit on top of my head by Trey Thomas. Like, I was like, Trey, man, stop hitting me on my head, man. Give me a dap. I used to tell the offensive line that. I didn't mind if a receiver or somebody hit me, but the offensive line, they couldn't hit me. So, but I think that it's just over the years, that's just something we do. Like, good job. Most of the time, you don't feel anything. The only time you're ever gonna feel something is somebody just got concussed, and you got to hit somebody extremely hard in your helmet in order to do it. And like I said, the offensive lineman didn't have, because they get so fired up, and smack you one. That's the only time. Other than that, I don't think it's a big deal.
Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. It's a habit. It's something. It's just like as simple as high fives. I mean, it's just something you do, and it's usually, like you said, it's not really that hard. I've had it happen to me after a concussion, and I came back, the next week. And you just, hey man, listen, I'm coming off a concussion. Okay, my bad. So it's not that serious, but I agree. I don't like getting hit by them big dudes. They don't know their own strength.
Exactly. And we'll talk about more special team. Our punter is down. We just signed the old punter from Pro Bowl punter from the Titans a couple hours ago. So there's moves that are being made. Shout out to Jake Elliott for punting the ball twice this past game and making do. So terrible thing to lose a punter because you don't execute the play right.
Yeah.
First of all, the punter got to get the dang ball out.
Yes, he was holding it for a minute.
Yeah, just it's a one-step punt.
Yeah,
it's nothing. It's no more than that. It's one-step punt. You backed up. So it's amazing to me how you take too many steps, get the ball blocked, take too much time, get the ball blocked, and then you end up being hurt. It's just if you execute the play the way it is, you don't. Nobody's hurt.
Yeah,
I
don't know there was something going on with the punters, man. Like, because the first punter, when he dropped the ball and then he rugby kicked it.
Yeah,
I was like, what's
what is
these
going
punters
on
today, man?
Y'all got here point shaving. Somebody out there, this casino got to the punters. I'm just talking. Don't pay me.
We don't condone
hey, thank
that.
you guys. This is the Q&A podcast. Make sure you check it out. The show tomorrow will drop, and I'm Jason Avant. This is Quintin Mikell. To Jeff and to Adam and Josh and everyone that's responsible and all the fans. Thank you guys. Q, you got the last word.
As always, man, it's a blast. I enjoy the show. Thank you, everybody, for supporting us. See y'all next week.